Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another session of The Last Resort. I'm your host, Ishita Day, and I'm grateful to be a part of this insightful session. Today, we have with us our very special guest, SUTEJ sir, who has done a 2 month internship program at Coinbase and has also secured a 6 month internship at Rubrik and has also a 6 month plus full time job offer from Media.net. Welcome, sir, and congratulations on your huge success. So, which
Uh,
company are you planning to join for your internship?
Hi, Shita. Thanks a lot, first of all, for the introduction. And yeah, I am planning to join Media.net for the internship as well as the full time.
Okay, that's great, sir. Sir, is there any specific reason that you would like to share with us for joining Media.net?
No, not a very specific reason. It's just that I am inclined towards the offer of Media.net, which also has a full time offer along with the 6 months internship.
Great, great, great. So, sir, could you describe the eligibility criteria for your position?
So basically, from the BTech stream, CSE, EC, and electrical branch were eligible to apply for the company for the SDE role, and
Okay,
also MTech CSE were eligible. So there was no CGPA cutoff in general.
okay, okay, sir. So, sir, was the recruitment off campus or on campus?
So it was an on-campus offer. The company came to our campus to recruit students.
Okay, sir. So, what resources did you use for your preparation?
Um, for my preparation, I would say I used basically Code Forces and AdCoder for the DSA part, and some YouTube tutorials for the system design part.
Okay, sir. And sir, one more very important question: that how crucial is a project for securing a placement?
I would say projects serve as an alternative to internships. Basically, projects give you the desired work experience that you're gonna actually do in companies. So companies look out for people who have actually made projects, so that they know that yeah, this person has built stuff in the past, and they can do the same thing at my company. So they hire generally they when they are interviewing folks, they look out for the projects that the person has did, and yeah, projects are like they play a very crucial role during the interviews.
Okay, so projects are important for
Yeah,
interviews.
yeah.
Okay, so next question we have for you is: so what distinguished your resume from those of your peers? Like, what was the key factor?
For the key factor, I would say basically my internship at Coinbase might be the one, since it's a big org and interning at such a big org, uh, of course, stands your resume out. And apart from that, I would say my achievements in the competitive programming domain, which also helped me during the interviews. Yeah, basically these two.
Okay, sir. That's great. So one more question, like which as a student I feel is very, crucial and important is what level of significance does a CGPA hold in context of job interviews?
Okay, so personally for Media.net, there was no particular CGPA cutoff that was defined, but around 70 to 75% of the companies have a CGPA cutoff of 8 or 8 plus for EC and electrical, and sometimes a CGPA cutoff of 7 for CSE. But yeah, generally, folks need to have a CGPA of 8 plus so that they can sit for every other company. Most of the companies have a CGPA cutoff of 8 only. So CGPA does play a significant role because it is the primary eligibility criteria for the first very first round of the company.
Yeah.
So and
Okay,
later
sir.
also some shortlistings might be done on the CGPA basis. So yeah, one needs to have a good CGPA for placements and internships.
So decent CGPA is needed.
Yeah, a CGPA of 8 plus is recommended, and
Okay.
there's no harm in having a CGPA of as high as you want.
Yeah, that's true, sir. Truly insightful, sir. And How significant a role does an internship play?
As I said earlier, that projects are an alternative to internship. Internships are also an alternative to projects. Basically, interning at an org, you are doing the real stuff that you're gonna do in a full-time job. So companies know that yeah, this person has actually built stuff at his previous org and has trained for this period, this amount of time. So they know how to build
Hmm.
stuff or how to do what they are gonna do at this place, right? So. The internship is going to vouch for you when you are interviewing for some company that yeah, I have actually done this stuff
Yeah.
and I can do the same stuff and maybe even better at this one. So internships are somewhat important because it is an
Hmm.
alternative to projects, but yeah, it's not really very important since you can replace it with projects and you can do a good amount of projects that can also be these at the similar level.
Okay, okay, sir, got it. So, like one more question we have for you is that how did you prepare for the interview? What was the strategy for it? Like,
Yeah. So I generally didn't prepare for the media.net interview very specifically because from the past experiences, I had seen that they generally asked only DSA questions and computer fundamental questions. So I had a good grasp over them. So I just went through like random problems on Codeforces and AdCoder to get a good feel of how can I solve those questions in a limited amount of time again at the interviews. And apart from that, yeah, I just went through Geeks for Geeks and interview bit for normals preparation strategies over computer fundamentals.
okay, sir. And sir, how many rounds of interviews were conducted? Like, could you please walk us through the entire interview process so that we
Yeah,
could get
sure.
a better idea?
Sure. So basically, the very first round of interviews was of online assessment. So everybody received the link for online assessment. It had around three questions in, if I remember correctly, 1.5 hours. So we had to solve those three
Okay.
questions in 1.5 hours. I managed to solve two and another half question, and I was shortlisted for the interviews. There were three technical rounds of interview and an HR round at the very end. So the first round of
Okay.
interview was a DSA round, and basically the interviewer asked me some computer CS fundamentals questions, and then moved on the DSA question, which was I would say a pretty hard question to. I mean, I had not answered such a question uh,
Yeah.
previously, so it was a pretty hard question and I did fumble at the very start, but interviewer helped me a lot, and then yeah, I was able to solve the question at the very end. And after that, the second round of interviews also had the same pattern, some computer fundamental questions at the start, and then a question of dynamic bitmask DP, one
Hmm.
single question, and it was much more harder than the first round, but luckily I was able to solve that also. And the third round of interviews, it was basically what you can say a mix of DSA and a system design round, where you had to design a solution to the problem that the interviewer put, and
Hmm.
uh, one can say it was a system design round basically. And apart from
Okay.
that, he quizzed me about my projects and about my internship also. And yeah, that was basically the three technical rounds. And then in the HR round, it was just basic HR questions like where do you want to see yourself in 5 years, and
Okay. Okay.
why do you want to join media.net, and around that things only.
Okay. So were there any like unique challenges or scenarios which you faced during your interview round, like quite a tough position or situation like that?
So basically, as I said, the DSA questions that were put forward were kind of very hard, and I had never encountered such a question. Like, I
Hmm.
had given many interviews, but never encountered such questions. So those were challenging. And apart from that, I feel the most challenging stuff was in the third round when the interviewer was discussing my project, and he wanted me to add a feature of search. Like he wanted my search feature to be improved. So I had implemented a search feature in my project, and he wanted it to improve for better time complexity and better
Hmm.
better usage. and I wasn't able to do that, but he also helped me a lot, and we discussed it like for 10 minutes straight, and I was not able to come up with a solution, but then he helped me with the solution.
Okay. So like DSA is the game changer here, right?
Yeah, pretty much DSA and computer fundamentals also. So if you
Okay.
fumble around computer fundamentals, it is going to give a bad image in front of the interviewer.
Yeah.
So both.
Okay. So I need a strong base for that, like
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
better. Okay. So, sir, based on your experience, what advice would you like to offer to someone who is applying for an SD position?
Yeah. So I would say first in general SD position, and then I would just give some
Yeah.
specific advice for Media.net maybe.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
for a in general SD position, I would say do a good amount of DSA. It is going to build up your problem solving skills, and then focus on development part two, and try
Mm.
to do any kind of development stuff, basically, be it app development, machine learning, AI, or web development, because this is going to give you the real life experience of what you are going to do at the company. And companies look out for people who have previous development experience, and many companies actually prefer people who have open source contributions in any of the development aspect. So development and DSA plus some amount of core computer fundamentals, because that is something that you are going to use at company to build again the stuffs. So DBMS, operating system,
Mm.
computer networks, and hoops. So
Okay.
this was basically for someone applying for an SD position. This might
Yeah.
sound like a lot, but given the time period that you get to prepare, uh, trust me, it's very small. So uh, apart from that, for something very specific to Media.net, I would say that you need to have a good grasp over DSA and advanced topics such as DP. I was
Mm.
asked DP with Bitmask. I heard someone got to implement Digit DP. So these are pretty much very advanced topics, and yeah, they ask this in interviews, and you are required to come up with a solution, come up with the most optimal
Okay.
solution actually, and code it in,
Mhm.
let's say, around 40 to 45 minutes. So it's pretty challenging. So I would say you need to have a very good grasp over DSA, and competitive programming surely helps in that aspect.
Okay.
Apart from that, yeah, basically the good grasp over DSA for Media.net.
Okay, sir. So, like one more question I have for you. What would be your advice for someone who is starting very afresh, like new to this field, and
Okay,
wish to
new to
see
this
himself
field.
or herself for SD? Yeah.
Okay, for someone who is like starting, I'd say go ahead and learn a language, since you need to enter the playing field. So just go ahead and learn a language, maybe C++, Python, or Java, any language of your choice.
Mm.
Just go ahead and do some DSA questions, because that is going to give you the first taste of what actually the field of computer science is about. And once you
Exactly.
get known to the DSA part, go ahead and build
Mm.
some projects of anything that you are interested on. Like, let's say I was particularly very interested in building up quiz websites, so I knew that
Mm.
I want to do web development so that I can build up a quiz website. So I did web development. So anything that you are remotely interested in, let's say you are in awe how chat gpt works, so you need to
Mm.
learn machine learning. You need to go and just start learning Python and start uh, with the machine learning tutorials. So just go ahead and do it. Don't wait for roadmaps, or don't wait for your friends to do the stuff. Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that is it, I guess.
Okay, so like for any person who is applying for SD position, he has to follow these certain procedures, and with that, he has to also, find his interest for that.
Yeah, right. Finding your interest is the main goal here, because
Yeah.
there are so many. The field of computer science is not limited to only web development or DSA. There are so
Yeah.
many criterias where there are so many categories where you can go and learn stuff. Basically, I am particularly very interested now in the ML field, so I
Yeah.
do wish to someday try and learn Python and then ML. So there are so many stuffs, and also when you are at a company level, there are much more stuff that you can learn and enter. Right? There's
Mm,
not only
mm,
these three development stuff. There's front end, there's back end, there's full stack.
mm,
There's one DevRel role where there's pipeline development. This backend
mm,
whole has subcategories where you can go into various fields, right? So there are
yeah.
many roles that you can enter. So you just need to enter the playing field, and then you can look out for what interests you the most, and then you can just join it.
Mm. Okay, sir. So that was really, really very insightful, and the experiences shared here have been truly valuable. Thank you so much for your insights and your valuable time. And on behalf of the entire OJAS team, we extend our heartfelt wishes for your ongoing success and achievements in your journey with Media.net. Thank you so much, sir. It was really a very nice session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishita. Thank you.